Have you ever wondered why learning can feel like such a struggle, while scrolling through social media feels almost effortless? Despite our best intentions, it often seems easier to get hooked on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube than to stay focused on learning or studying. But why is that? What makes social media so addictive, whilst learning can feel like an uphill battle? The answer lies in the way our brains respond to rewards. Social media platforms are designed to trigger our brain's pleasure centres, offering constant dopamine hits with every like, comment, or new piece of content. This creates a cycle of instant gratification, keeping us engaged and coming back for more. On the other hand, traditional learning often lacks these immediate rewards, making it harder to stay focused and motivated, or even just get going in the first place. But what if we could use the same psychological principles that make social media so addictive to make learning more engaging? What if we could turn learning into something you look forward to instead of a chore? In this video, we'll explore how to make learning as addictive as social media by applying science-backed strategies that leverage the brain's reward system. By tapping into the very same mechanisms that keep us hooked on our feeds, we can transform our approach to learning, making it just as compelling and habit-forming. So sit back, relax, let's dive in. The first question we need to ask ourselves is what happens to our brain when we go on social media. Social media platforms are structured to provide instant gratification through likes, comments, shares, and notifications. Each of these interactions triggers the release of dopamine, a feel-good neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. Every time we receive a positive response on social media, such as a like or a comment, our brain rewards us with dopamine, reinforcing the behaviour and making us more likely to seek out similar interactions. Over time, this can lead to a cycle of dopamine-driven reinforcement, where we crave and seek out the rewarding experiences on social media, making it easy to become hooked or even addicted. Given this information, our first way to replicate this whilst learning is to leverage dopamine pathways through rewards. One way would be to reward yourself with small, immediate incentives after completing a study task. These could be snacks, a break, or an enjoyable activity. When I'm learning something at home, I'll always make sure I work at the same spot, wearing something comfortable, and often with a coffee in hand, as these things make me feel good. Over time, positive reinforcement builds associations with learning and strengthens the habit loop. However, like most things, there is a balance to be struck here to ensure discipline. You don't want to reward yourself too much to the point where you don't get anything done. Now, I'm sure we've all heard the statistic that over the past 10 years, it's estimated that attention spans have decreased from 12 seconds to around 8 seconds. But how have social media platforms taken advantage of this? Social media channels deliver fast-paced, easily digestible content which keeps you scrolling. With the introduction and rapid growth of TikTok and YouTube Shorts, this is only going to increase in years to come. You can apply similar concepts to learning by creating short, bite-sized learning sessions. Bite-sized learning sessions are a great way to build a consistent learning habit. By setting aside small, regular blocks of time, you can make learning feel achievable and manageable. Even if you start with just a few minutes, the key is consistency. Showing up regularly, even briefly, helps turn learning into a lasting habit. Over time, these small sessions build momentum and lead to a deeper understanding without overwhelming you. For example, using the Pomodoro technique, where you study for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break, which studies have shown can increase productivity by up to 25% as it prevents cognitive overload and enhances focus. The brain is notoriously bad at multitasking, so this method helps you to focus on one thing at a time and set clear goals for each learning session. Studies have shown that this next strategy is one of the most effective ways to create addictive behaviours and is used by social media platforms and casinos to keep users engaged. I want you to picture a bustling casino for a second, filled with the flashing lights and ringing sounds of slot machines. You watch as people settle in, feeding coins and pulling levers, eyes fixed on the spinning symbols. Hours pass, yet they remain, driven by the anticipation of a big win just within reach. It's captivating. The thrill of each spin keeps them hooked, the unpredictability of each pull offering a new chance, a glimmer of a jackpot. It's that sense of possibility, the allure of reward that keeps them playing, mesmerised by the promise of a payoff. Sound familiar? Social media keeps users engaged through an unpredictable stream of content that turns each scroll into a mini gamble, as users never know what they'll encounter next. This unpredictability taps into a powerful psychological drive, encouraging people to keep scrolling in hopes of finding something interesting or entertaining, which often leads to hours of doom scrolling. This cycle of uncertainty and reward is one of the key reasons people end up spending so much time on these platforms. So how can this be transferable to learning? Incorporate unpredictable rewards. Mimic this by introducing an element of surprise into your learning routine. After each study session, mix it up a little bit. Don't do the same thing each time, make things interesting. This could be a short walk, a snack, or even 10 push-ups. You could even create your own random activity generator that you spin every time you have a break. These random elements help you to increase excitement and keep you coming back for more. Now, this next tactic used by social media channels has become a core feature on platforms like Snapchat and Instagram, and that is gamification. Social media platforms use gamification to boost user engagement by incorporating elements like rewards, streaks, and challenges that tap into user psychology. For example, Snapchat uses snap streaks to encourage friends to exchange snaps daily, creating a sense of accomplishment and urgency to maintain the streak. Instagram, on the other hand, uses badges during live streams to reward influencers, as well as interactive story features like polls and quizzes, which give users instant feedback and gratification. These features play on users' desire for recognition and the fear of missing out, motivating them to engage consistently. Now, the principles behind this can be applied to learning by also using elements like points and leaderboards. Research shows that game mechanics like leveling up and earning rewards tap into the brain's reward system, which increases motivation and academic engagement. Learning apps like Duolingo have tapped into this, rewarding users with points, levels, and badges for maintaining streaks and progression. Setting daily study goals and tracking your progress can transform learning into a consistent habit. Use visual progress trackers to monitor your streaks and see your growth over time. This constant visual feedback encourages continued engagement and boosts motivation. Whether you choose a habit tracking app or simply mark each day on a calendar, tracking your achievements can be an effective way to stay productive and inspired. This last strategy is the foundation of social media channels, and that is social accountability, the power of study groups. Social media thrives on an innate desire for connection and interaction. They create social accountability by making users' activities and progress visible to their networks, encouraging consistent engagement. For instance, features like Instagram and Snapchat stories allow users to share updates, creating a sense of responsibility to maintain a certain level of activity. Take this concept to help aid learning. Create learning groups, either in person or online, to share progress, discuss topics, and support each other's goals. These groups harness the power of social connection, creating a social multiplier effect where everyone's motivation and effort inspire greater commitment within the group. Just as social media thrives on interactions like likes and comments to drive engagement, learning groups provide a similar boost through positive feedback and shared achievements. Celebrating each other's progress, solving problems together, and even competing in a friendly way can replicate the motivation found in social platforms. This structure not only builds accountability, but also taps into the natural drive for social validation, making the learning process more dynamic and rewarding. In these groups, each member contributes to a motivating cycle, keeps everyone involved, driven, and focused on their next goals. No one wants to be that person in the group that doesn't pull the weight or has no idea what's going on, but there is extra accountability there. With the right mindset and a few tweaks, you can rewire your brain to crave learning the same way it craves the next notification. The tools to make learning addictive are already within reach, just a matter of applying them. So, the next time you commit to learning something new, think of it as an opportunity to unlock the next level in your journey. Because when learning becomes as irresistible as a social media scroll, success will follow effortlessly. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more videos like this. Thank you.